Over the next few days, we're going to work on this particular persuasive essay that you've chosen, and we're going to work together to help you to strengthen it, to make it even better than what it already is. And looking at some very specific things. We've already talked about a couple things that persuasive essays have. We'll look at a couple other things. So before we get going, I want you to look at our persuasive essay chart, things that we notice about persuasive essays. And just remember that at the beginning, the author always states their opinion, and then that opinion is followed by specific reasons why they have that opinion. Today we're going to look at several of the essays that we've already looked at previously, and we're going to look at how the author started off those essays, how they went about hooking the reader. We're going to look at those opening sentences and then see if we can't take some of their ideas and use them in your persuasive essay. So if you have your notebooks open to page 33, this is the article about the uniforms that we just read the other day. So I'm going to read just the first paragraph, and I would like you to follow along. Are school uniforms appropriate for public school students? Yes, and I believe students in public school should be required to wear them. Uniforms eliminate the distractions of designer clothes so students can focus on their studies. Uniforms also create an environment in which children will be judged on personality rather than style. Finally, uniforms save time and money. What sentence in that essay tells us exactly what the author's opinion is?
The sentence that says what the author wants is, yes, I believe students in public schools should be required to wear them.
Okay, so I'm going to underline that part right there. Yes, and I believe students in public school should be required to wear them. So the author in this paragraph, they started off with a question, and then the author answered the question with their opinion. Can you look back at that and see if you see that? Can you underline that same line for me in your copy? Why might starting your essay with a question be a good way to get the reader's attention?
I think it's a good idea to start with a question because it gets the reader wanting to know the answer to that question.
Would someone like to add on to what Justin said? Megan, what are you thinking?
I agree with Justin because students, they want to search for the answer, and that usually is answered soon, and they want to know examples to persuade them.
If you wanted to start your essay with a question, and then you state your opinion in the answer to that question, what would you write? Turn to your partner.
That I believe that hot lunches should be better. That's what I would write.
I would write that I think that do you think that all sports at every grade level should be shown on TV? Yes, I think so, because everybody has a certain amount of talent.
They should not get that much homework because they already have 6 hours of school in the morning.
In addition to what you said, I would kind of do the same thing, but yeah, kind of with a question. It would be like, should schools have restaurants? And I would probably say, I would state my opinion, say yes, they should, because most kids can't really stand the school menus.
Can somebody give us an example of how you might start your essay with a question and then answering it, stating your opinion?
My opinion was that students shouldn't get no more than 20 minutes of homework a day, And I would start it, do you think students should get more than 20 minutes of homework a day? And the answer is no, because we already have 6 hours of school in the morning, and it should be your time to play and spend time with family.
Look at the draft that you have chosen. Open up to that page where you have the draft that you've chosen to work on. And I want you to just think for a few minutes about the following questions. Just think about these 2 questions. Do you have an opening sentence or a question that will get your audience interested in reading your essay? If so, how will it interest them? If not, what might you want to write? Do you state your opinion clearly somewhere in the first paragraph? If you didn't, where might you state it? And what could you write? So for writing time today, this is what I would like you to do. Work on the persuasive essay that you have chosen. I want you to revise your opening sentence to get the reader interested. Make sure to state your opinion clearly in the first paragraph, and then make sure to give reasons that support your opinion. When you finish your revisions on this one, you can just start on another one. Can you please look at how you revised your opening sentence in the persuasive essay that you're working on? Can you look at that? Some of you may have written a question. Some of you may have done something different. Look at that opening sentence that you revised today, and can you reread that so you can be prepared to share that with us when we come to the floor? Okay, as soon as you're ready, you can come and join me. So a couple things before we share. I'm going to have you share those opening sentences that you worked on today during your writing time. It's important that as you are reading those out loud, that you speak nice and loudly and clearly so everybody can hear what you're saying. I really like the fact that you already have your notebooks on the floor so that you can really pay attention to whoever's speaking. The other thing that I would like you to do as you hear everybody share their opening sentences is think about which ones are you really curious about. What is something that somebody read today that you're kind of curious about? And we'll talk about that at the end.
Don't you think there should be more 5th grade parties in school? Well, I think so. 5th grade is the last grade in elementary.
Yuck. School lunches taste bad. Sometimes you don't even know what it is.
Do you think animal testing is right or wrong? The reason I think animal testing is wrong because it said that the animal that they tested on has died.
Today, many people think a social network is one of the greatest and newest ways for people of all ages to communicate with each other.
Watching video games can cause you to be violent. I believe that watching video games can cause you to be violent. They can cause you to be violent because a lot of games have strong language and blood and guns.
So what sentence did you hear shared today that really got you curious?
Well, I think Eric's sentence made me curious because I want to know more about the social networks and why people think it's so interesting.
Yvette, what did you hear that got you curious?
Well, I liked Mahatma's because it got me curious because I think there should be more parties since this is the last year for 5th grade elementary.
So tomorrow we will continue to look at this draft that you're working on for your persuasive essay, and we'll look to see how we can strengthen it even more than we already did today.